We have been doing something this whole off season where we've been focusing on returning players, different positions in college football. We've gone through the entire offense. Last week we hit the defense and interior line. So this week we are going to go with linebackers, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, a number of great linebackers have left the last couple years. I think last year, big pick from the Texans was Will Anderson Jr. The Philadelphia
Trenton
Eagles got
Simpson for
all the
Clemson.
oh, exactly. The Eagles got all the daggone D lineman players out of the Georgia defense, so we know how that goes. Um, but who's coming back? Who are some names that we should be looking for this year, and where are they playing out?
So I'll go 5-1 here. My number 5. I hate to do it, especially since there was some chiming in the background there.
Oh
But
yeah.
number 5, I'm giving it to MSU. It's Cal Halladay.
Okay.
He's one of the few very, very good players on MSU. He's going to be the leader of that defense, and he's a hell of a player, so I got to give him some credit here. Number 4 for me, it's one of the guys that when we were talking the players that had their kids playing now for former players, we forgot to mention Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yeah,
Clemson.
Will hit me up with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to give him some love. He's very good, and Clemson lost a lot of defense this year, so he from last year, so he's going to have to be a key piece for them. Number 3 for me, I'm going to go Tommy Eichenberg from Ohio State.
Okay.
He's very good in the run game. He's getting better in the pass game, but he's more that old school traditional run stuffing linebacker. He's very good at it though. So give him number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna go Jamon Dumas Johnson from Georgia.
Yeah.
We've seen what these Georgia linebackers have done year after year after year. N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, those kind of guys. I'm expecting this to be pretty much the same. He's another very good athlete, very good linebacker. Had to give him some love, so he's in at number 2. And back-to-back SEC for number 1 and 2 because Harold Perkins Jr. from LSU.
Yes.
He's far and away the best linebacker this year. It's bar none. There's been a few of these positions where it's like Marvin Harrison and who else? Brock Bowers and who else? This is Harold Perkins Jr. and everyone else. So elite linebacker. He does it all. Extremely athletic, and he's far and away the number 1 player this year.
Yeah, Harold Perkins. I recommend if you have never seen Harold Perkins play, go back to watch. I believe it was the Arkansas game last year, and there was a stretch of 2 or 3 series where Harold Perkins, they got a strip sack, got a couple sacks, tackled for losses. Was wreaking havoc on a very good Arkansas offense, and it was, and that was the first time I had seen him, and it was like, what? Who is this guy? And they were saying, oh, he even had a down game in that game. Harold Perkins by far up there. He's that number 1 for me. I completely agree. I'm gonna give Jeremiah Trotter Jr. the number 2, and the reason why I'm gonna do that, he's got the pedigree from, obviously we know his father, but he is now the guy at Clemson. He had those, Brian Brzee and Murphy, those guys up front.
And Trenton Simpson right alongside him. And
exactly. Now the attention, kind of similar to Georgia or Ohio State, where a lot of guys left, but some of the guys that were playmakers last year now are going to be pushed to the forefront. So I definitely think he's going to get up there. Our number 3s are the same. Ohio State. Was it Eichenberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eichenberg out of Ohio State. I think him and Tuimoloau. There we go. Tuimoloau. I tried, man. I'm gonna get it.
One of these days.
Tuimoloau. I think these two are going to be integral parts in a defense that's going to be out to prove something. Obviously, we know about all the weapons they lost on offense and how much their defense has kind of been, I won't say slept on, but everybody talks about, Penn State, Michigan, all these other defenses, and they talked about how great the offense was at Ohio State. I'm glad to see that defense is getting a little love. I was watching some old school stuff, and they put up a video of Katzenmoyer, and he had the huge pads and the huge neck. Oh man,
the
I didn't
cowboy
like
collar and,
right.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of Ohio State, but I loved seeing that, man. That's football to me. So, and then number 4 for me, Georgia, Jamon Dumas Johnson. My guy had 70 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 3 pass deflections, and a forced fumble a year ago. I mean, that team, like we said, they don't rebuild, they just reload. They just the next one up, the next one up. And so I think he's going to wreak havoc among other guys. And then here, my number 5 is probably down in the top 10 for a lot of other people, but I got to show love, man. You know where I land. North Carolina, Cedric Gray, man, as a junior last year, made contact 122 times with 15 tackles for loss. Like this guy is a monster. But because we have games like we did against App State where our defense gives up 40 points, and you see how the rest of the defense is struggling, it's easy to overlook a guy like this. Cedric Gray, this guy, I'm needing for a breakout year. And any of you guys in the comments, if you guys want Drake May to go pro and be the start, he's going to need some help from his defense. So Cedric Gray is where I want to go with that 5. Christopher Cole saying, "Morning, guys. What's up, Chris?" Oh, I see our friend has returned.
He's back. He's been
I
back the last few nights on the shows.
Yeah, Jason, where have you been, man? What's been going on with you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Now I'm saying you're back.
I'm scared to hear the answer of where he's been.
Well, that's true. That's true. And hey, this is funny. It's funny, but it's actually truthful. Tommy DeVito, is he related to Danny DeVito? I highly doubt it, but
I'll look it up. But I think the answer is no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not. But I mean, it would make sense. It's interesting. Oh, here we go. I just want Drake May up for other things. Oh, okay. All right, Jason. You're cut. Yeah, buddy. So, look, those were our top 5 linebackers. Alex, is there anybody else that maybe we should be taking a look at that maybe we didn't mention?
So I'm going to throw a Michigan guy in there. That's not highly rated. I mean, like Junior Colson, Mike Barrett, they get all the recognition in Michigan at that linebacker position. But the guy I think is going to break out this year is Ernest Hausman, the transfer from Nebraska coming into his sophomore season. I think he's going to light it up. So he's my sleeper player to look out for.
My guy, and it comes right from your area, Big Ten. Abdul Carter at Penn State.
Yeah.
He's wearing the number 11. And as we know, some of the greats at Penn State, LeVar Bowman, LeVar Arrington, some of those guys have wore that number 11. So
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, right. So that's a daunting task. So if he can do it, I love what he brings to the table, his speed, his quickness, his ability to, bring down the ball.
How many of these Penn State guys are on these lists?
I'm telling you, man. But there's a reason why you and I both thought Penn State could be that one hiccup for you guys this year. I mean, health, everything else considered, Penn State, man. If they get major play from their quarterback, 5-star, a young kid, if they get solid play from him, we already know what those running backs, how good they are. I know you don't like to hear this. I'm sorry, Alec. Sorry, man.
Yeah. Every year it's been Ohio State. This year, I think it's Penn State. Penn State worries me more than any of the other Big Ten teams this year. And it's not close.
No.
Penn State worries the hell out of me this year because they are such a good team this year.
Let's go. Shout out to Franklin, man. Get them boys rolling, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I hope they're able to do something, not at y'all's expense, but definitely, bring them back up to prominence.
If they beat us and it's a really good game, it is what it is, man. I could legitimately see both those two teams being a playoff team. I could see one of them getting in as that 1-loss 4-seed team. Now, you almost don't want to do that because you're going to have to play Georgia. Let's just be real. But, I mean, you're still in the playoff. And for a team like Penn State, if they can get back in, because I think have they been in? I don't think they've been in the playoff.
Not CFP.
No. So if they could finally get in, I know there was a year or two where they should have got in and they didn't. Kind of as this like 4 seed here, but yeah, if they could get in, even like if they win the Big Ten, obviously they're in. They're laughing. But if say we beat them and that's their only loss, then I could see them getting in as a 4 seed, especially if it's a really close game.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go back to the year that Saquon was there, where they went like 11-2 or something like that, and they ended up playing USC in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest they've been to the CFP. I think you'd have to go back BCS and before for them to get that high. So it'll be interesting.